welcome back to Science in Sleeping. It's so good to have you here again tonight. Whether this is your very first time joining or you've made this channel a part of your nightly routine, I want you to know that this space is made just for you. Tonight, we're drifting into something gentle, mysterious, and deeply human. We're exploring nature's hidden code, the quiet rhythms of sleep, and the fascinating landscapes of dreams. You might think of it as a journey through your own inner universe, a place your body and mind visit every single night without needing your permission. My hope for you is twofold. If you're here because sleep feels distant, if your thoughts keep circling and your body won't settle, I want these words to become like a soft current, carrying you effortlessly toward rest. And if you're listening not just to fall asleep, but to learn, to let your mind wander through science and story, I want to give you something to gently hold on to, a kind of midnight lecture whispered as a lullaby. You don't need to focus hard or memorize anything. You don't need to catch every detail. In fact, I encourage you to let things drift in and out, like waves rolling against a shoreline. If at some point you stop following the words and instead slip into the beginnings of a dream, that is exactly what this space is here for. As you lie there, wherever you are in the world, I invite you to notice your surroundings. Maybe you're in bed, perhaps with the lights dimmed, your phone on the nightstand, or maybe you're wearing headphones cocooned in sound. Some people watch from a warm blanket on the couch, others listen while traveling, though most of you will be horizontal, ready for sleep. I love to imagine where you might be listening from. Some of you may be in the quiet suburbs of North America, some in busy cities across Europe or Asia, others in small villages where the night air is cool and full of stars. It always amazes me that sleep, this universal code written into biology, is also deeply personal, shaped by culture, environment, and history. Wherever you are, whatever the time, you are part of this global community of sleepers and dreamers. I would love to know in the comments where you are tuning in from and what time it is for you. It creates something special, doesn't it, to realize that thousands of us share this same ritual at once, lying in different corners of the world, yet connected by the act of listening and resting. Now, take a moment just for yourself. Maybe adjust your pillow. Pull the blanket up a little closer. Soften your shoulders. And if you'd like, close your eyes. There is nothing you need to do here. No task, no expectation, no need to be productive. This time is for you, a gift to your mind and body. So tonight, we'll let the science of sleep unfold slowly, gently, like a storybook read under candlelight. We'll wander through the brain's nightly rhythms, the strange logic of dreams, and the quiet secrets written in our biology. Along the way, I'll share stories from history, psychology, and neuroscience, but always in a way that feels easy, unhurried, and soft. You can let go of holding onto every word and simply allow yourself to be carried along. Tonight's exploration is not a test, not a lecture hall. It's more like being told a bedtime story, one designed to soothe as much as to inform. So settle in, get comfortable, feel the weight of your body supported by your bed or chair. Let your breath move naturally, slowly, gently, and as you do, we'll begin to trace the outline of nature's hidden code, the science of sleeping and dreaming. Have you ever wondered why your body insists on sleep, no matter how much you resist it? Have you noticed how, after a sleepless night, the world looks just slightly out of focus, as if someone turned down the brightness on reality? Why do we dream? Why do we surrender a third of our lives to this nightly cycle? And what secret code could possibly be hidden in those hours we can barely remember? Imagine for a moment you are standing at the edge of a quiet forest. The moonlight drapes the leaves in silver, and the air is still except for the occasional rustle of wind. You feel the pull of rest in your body, as though the earth itself is whispering for you to lie down. Beneath your feet, roots stretch deep into the soil, mirroring the hidden networks within your brain. Above you, stars shimmer in a vast night sky, as if reflecting the firing of neurons in a cosmic mirror. In this gentle space, we can begin to explore the science of sleeping, not as a cold set of facts, but as a living, breathing rhythm that connects us to nature itself. Sleep is not passive, it is not wasted time. In fact, your body is more active at night than you might imagine. During sleep, your brain hums like a midnight workshop, replaying memories, filing them away, repairing tissue, recalibrating hormones. It is almost as if each night your brain runs a private maintenance routine, one so essential that without it, the system begins to collapse. Scientists describe sleep in cycles, drifting between light sleep, deep sleep, and REM, rapid eye movement sleep. In light sleep, your body begins to let go. Your muscles relax, your heartbeat slows. Deep sleep is where repair happens, where growth hormone surges, where your body rebuilds itself at the cellular level. And then comes REM, the dream stage, where your brain flickers with activity as if you were awake. The hidden code of sleep is written in these stages, each one as necessary as the next. Did you know that during REM sleep, your brain is almost as active as it is during waking life? Yet your muscles are paralyzed. It is a safeguard, preventing you from acting out the vivid dreams your mind conjures. Without it, people with rare sleep disorders may move, walk, or even shout in their sleep. REM is not just for dreaming. It is also where emotional processing takes place. When you wake from a dream that feels strangely symbolic, it may be your brain rehearsing scenarios, preparing you emotionally for challenges ahead. Sleep also plays a crucial role in memory. It is like your mind has a librarian who comes alive at night, carefully sorting through the chaos of the day, deciding which details belong in long-term memory and which should be gently let go. This is why students who sleep after studying remember more, and why sleepless nights leave us forgetful and unfocused. And then there is the poetry of dreams. Some scientists argue that dreams are the byproduct of memory processing, random sparks of activity stitched together by the brain. Others believe they are simulations, a kind of inner rehearsal, preparing us for possibilities. From the perspective of psychology, dreams are a secret theater, where unconscious wishes, fears, and fragments of daily life all play out under a curtain of night. Think of your dreams as a canvas, painted by both biology and imagination. The colors come from your lived experience, but the patterns are drawn by the unseen hand of your nervous system. Have you ever had a dream so vivid it lingered long after waking, or a dream that seemed to solve a problem? Dreams remind us that the line between the scientific and the mystical is thinner than we think. And yet, Sleep is more than dreams, it is survival across evolution. Nearly every animal on Earth has some form of sleep. Dolphins sleep one hemisphere of the brain at a time. Birds sleep mid-flight. Even fruit flies show signs of rest. This tells us something profound, that sleep is not optional. It is coded into the very fabric of life. When you close your eyes tonight, think of yourself as part of this great chain of sleepers, stretching across time and species, from ancient humans who slept under starlight to modern listeners with headphones in quiet bedrooms. Two creatures hidden in the dark corners of the forest, all surrendering to the same rhythm. Sleep is the great equalizer, the hidden language written into biology itself. So let us pause here. Imagine your breath moving in and out, like waves washing onto a shore. Feel how your body already understands this rhythm. Even without effort, sleep is not something you achieve. It is something you allow, like drifting with the current instead of swimming against it. And as we close this first chapter together, know that we are only beginning to decode nature's hidden script. In the next part, we will wander deeper into the strange landscapes of dreams, into the way psychology has tried to interpret them, from Freud's earliest theories to modern neuroscience. But for now, rest in the knowledge that every night your body is carrying out the most beautiful and essential ritual, the science in sleeping. Have you ever woken from a dream so vivid that for a moment you weren't quite sure whether it was real? Have you ever had a nightmare so sharp that your heart pounded long after you opened your eyes? Or perhaps you've woken laughing, smiling at a dream that felt like a gift from some secret part of yourself. Why do dreams have such power over us? And what is their true purpose? Picture yourself now, standing at the entrance of an old theater. Its doors are carved from dark oak, worn smooth by countless hands. You push them open, and inside you find rows of velvet seats, a stage lit only by a single flickering lantern. This theater is your mind at night. The actors are your memories, your emotions, and your unconscious desires. The script is written in fragments of your daily life, stitched together by a logic that often makes no sense, and you, the dreamer, are both the audience and the main character. Dreams have fascinated humanity for as long as we have recorded history. Ancient Egyptians believed dreams were messages from the gods. The Greeks thought dreams could predict the future. In some Native American traditions, dreams were seen as journeys of the soul. And then came Freud, who famously declared that dreams were the royal road to the unconscious. According to Freud, every dream hides a secret wish disguised in symbols, like letters in a code we can't quite read. Jung, on the other hand, saw dreams as a bridge to something even deeper, the collective unconscious, a shared storehouse of symbols and archetypes. Science, of course, takes a different view. Modern neuroscience tells us that dreams are the brain's way of processing, rehearsing, and reorganizing. Your mind flickers with electrical storms during REM sleep, combining scraps of memory, imagination, and emotion. The result is something that feels both random and meaningful at the same time. But here is where the mystery grows. Did you know that people who are deprived of REM sleep begin to hallucinate? Their waking life starts to feel dreamlike, blurred, and unstable, as if the brain insists on dreaming one way or another. It is as though dreams are not optional, but vital, just like food and water. Why would evolution protect this strange nightly theater so fiercely if it did not serve some profound purpose? Consider this. Some scientists now believe dreams are a kind of training ground. Your brain creates scenarios, often bizarre or frightening, to prepare you for danger. Have you ever dreamed of running, being chased, falling? These primal dreams may be simulations, rehearsals for survival, and yet not all dreams are about fear. Many are about connection, love, joy, creativity. Some of the world's greatest inventions and works of art were inspired by dreams. Did you know the structure of the periodic table came to Dmitri Mendeleev in a dream? Or that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was born from a dreamlike vision? Dreams are not only about the past, they are also about possibility. They bend time, allowing you to revisit childhood, to fly across landscapes that don't exist, to meet people who are long gone in dreams. The brain is not bound by physics, logic, or even identity. You can become someone else, live another life, and return without leaving your bed. Psychologists today study lucid dreams, moments when you realize, inside the dream, that you are dreaming. Imagine being in that velvet theater and suddenly noticing the stage lights, realizing that you are both actor and director. Some lucid dreamers can shape their dream worlds, flying through galaxies, exploring impossible landscapes, or facing their fears in safety. It blurs the line between imagination and reality in a way that feels almost supernatural. And then there are the darker corners of the dream theater. Nightmares. They grip us with fear, waking us breathless. But even nightmares may serve a purpose. Research suggests they help us process trauma, confronting painful emotions in symbolic form. Soldiers with post-traumatic stress often dream in loops, reliving moments their mind cannot resolve. Nightmares are the mind's cry for healing, a rehearsal for resilience. Have you ever noticed how your dreams reflect your emotions? Stress brings chaotic, restless dreams. Anxiety brings strange repetitions. Grief brings the presence of lost loved ones. Dreams act as mirrors, showing us what we cannot see in the waking day. They may not always tell the truth, but they always reveal something of the inner self. Now let us step back for a moment. Imagine that the theater of dreams is not just personal, but universal, across cultures and centuries. People have shared symbols: flying, falling, being chased, standing exposed. These archetypes repeat again and again. Jung would say they are evidence of the collective unconscious, a vast, shared library of human imagery, like myths written in the code of biology. And yet, dreams remain slippery. Science cannot pin them down completely. Psychology cannot explain all their shapes. We live 1/3 of our lives immersed in them, and still we do not fully understand that is part of their beauty. They remind us that even with all our progress, the human mind is still a mystery. So tonight, as you drift closer to sleep, think of your brain preparing its nightly performance. The stage is set, the actors are ready, the curtains will rise, and the show will unfold without rehearsal. You will walk through landscapes, both strange and familiar, and when you wake, only fragments may remain. Like smoke dissolving in the air, Dreams are nature's way of reminding us that life itself is more mysterious than we imagine, that reality is not fixed, but fluid. The theater of dreams is both science and poetry, survival and imagination. It is where the unconscious whispers in symbols, where the brain rewires itself in shadows, where you meet parts of yourself you didn't know were waiting. And as this chapter closes, let the thought settle gently in your mind that when you fall asleep, you are not simply resting, you are entering a hidden world, a secret theater that belongs only to you, and yet is shared by every human who has ever lived. In the next part of our journey, we will wander deeper into the strange boundaries between waking and dreaming, exploring phenomena like sleep paralysis, lucid dreaming in greater depth, and the thin veil between consciousness and the unconscious. For now, breathe softly and let the curtains of your own theater begin to rise. Have you ever found yourself caught in that strange in-between state? When you are half awake and half asleep, your body is heavy, you cannot move, and yet your mind is buzzing with awareness. Shadows flicker at the edge of your vision, a presence seems to hover, and for a moment you are unsure if you are dreaming or awake. This is the territory of sleep paralysis, a phenomenon that has haunted humans for centuries. Imagine you are lying in your bed. The room is dark, the air is still. You know you are in your familiar space, and yet something feels different. A weight presses against your chest. Your limbs refuse to respond. Your eyes are open, but the world around you feels blurred, unreal. This is the veil between worlds, where the brain has awakened but the body remains locked in the paralysis of REM sleep. Throughout history, sleep paralysis has been wrapped in mythology in parts of Europe. It was once called the hag, the sense of an old woman sitting on the sleeper's chest. In Japan, it was known as kanashibari, a binding spell that trapped the body. In Newfoundland, people spoke of the old hag visiting in the night, pressing the breath out of dreamers. What science explains today as a mismatch between brain and body has long been experienced as something supernatural. But let us pause here and step gently into the science. During REM sleep, your brain is alive with dreams. Your eyes flicker behind closed lids. Your mind writes its theater of images. To prevent you from acting out those dreams, the brain sends signals to paralyze the body. The muscles go quiet, heavy, still, for most of us. This paralysis lifts seamlessly as we wake. But sometimes, the brain wakes up too soon. Awareness flickers on, while the body remains frozen. The result is a moment of paralysis, often accompanied by hallucinations. And here is where things grow strange in sleep paralysis. The mind often generates vivid imagery, shadowy figures, whispers, presences. Some neuroscientists suggest this is the dream state spilling into waking consciousness. Your brain, still half dreaming, projects its symbols into the room around you. That is why so many across cultures describe seeing dark forms at the bedside, hearing voices, feeling touched or pressed down. What feels like a haunting is the brain's way of blending dream and reality. Yet, there is something awe-inspiring in this. Think of it, in sleep paralysis, you are witnessing the borderland between two states of being, the merging of conscious and unconscious. Waking and dreaming, it is terrifying, yes, but it is also a glimpse into the mystery of awareness itself. You are standing at the thin veil where perception is created. Some people, rather than fearing this state, learn to use it. For those who practice lucid dreaming, sleep paralysis can be a doorway. Imagine that you cannot move your body, but you close your eyes and instead shift your focus inward. With practice, you can step directly into a lucid dream, crossing the threshold like a traveler between dimensions. One moment you are lying frozen in bed. The next you are flying through a dreamscape of your own design. Lucid dreaming itself is a phenomenon both thrilling and strange. To become aware that you are dreaming and then to shape the dream is like becoming an artist in your own subconscious theater. Psychologists and dream researchers have studied this for decades. They have found that lucid dreams often occur in late REM sleep. When the brain is most active, some people stumble into them by accident. Others train through techniques like reality checks, meditation, or even keeping a dream journal. The suspense lies in this question: what does it mean, truly, to know you are dreaming? Does it mean you are conscious? Or is it simply another level of illusion? Some philosophers argue that lucid dreams blur the very definition of reality. If you can walk, talk, feel, and choose within a dream, how do you truly know the difference between that and waking life? Consider this thought experiment. What if life itself is a dream, a long, shared dream in which we have agreed on certain rules, gravity, time, identity? When you wake from a dream, it dissolves instantly, forgotten like mist. How can we be sure that this waking state is not just another layer waiting to dissolve? Dreams invite us to ask questions that science cannot fully answer, about consciousness, about reality, about the self. But returning to the body, science does give us some remarkable details. Did you know that during sleep paralysis, the amygdala, the brain's fear center, is highly active? This is why the experience feels so charged, so terrifying. Your brain is literally amplifying fear while preventing you from escaping. It is a cruel trick of biology, and yet those who learn to breathe through it, to remain calm, often find that the fear melts, and the paralysis becomes a doorway to something greater. Let us reflect for a moment. Dreams, lucid or otherwise, remind us that consciousness is not a solid wall, but a shifting veil, like clouds drifting across a sky. States of mind blend into one another, waking into dreaming, dreaming into waking. In these transitions, we glimpse the mystery of being itself. The paralysis that once felt like terror may instead be understood as a threshold, a reminder that the boundaries we cling to are not as firm as they seem. And now, as we prepare to leave this chapter, imagine yourself lying in bed. The veil is soft, the boundary is thin. You close your eyes and drift, not fearing the stillness, but trusting it, knowing that beyond the paralysis, beyond the shadows, there is a world of dreams waiting to welcome you. In our next journey together, we will explore memory and sleep, how the brain transforms daily chaos into meaning while you rest, and why your dreams may be more than echoes. They may be the very code through which your mind writes the story of who you are. For now, let the veil between waking and dreaming remind you, gently, that you are both actor and audience, both dreamer and dream. Have you ever wondered why some memories stay with you for a lifetime, while others vanish within hours? Why do you remember the taste of your grandmother's cooking, but not what you ate for lunch last Tuesday. Why does a childhood moment return suddenly in a dream? Decades later, clear as daylight, memory is one of the brain's greatest mysteries, and sleep is its secret architect. Imagine for a moment. You are standing in a vast library at night. The halls stretch endlessly, filled with shelves stacked high with books of every shape and size. Some are crisp and new. Some are worn with age. Some books are blank, waiting to be written. In this library walks a quiet figure, a night librarian, moving carefully from shelf to shelf. This librarian is your sleeping brain, sorting through the stories of your day, deciding which to preserve, which to erase, and which to file in strange, hidden corners. During the day, your brain is flooded with information. Every sight, every sound, every word you read or hear, every face you pass, every moment is written quickly, like scribbles in a notebook. But at night, the brain begins its deep work in non-REM sleep. Especially in the slow, deep stages, your brain replays the electrical patterns of your waking hours. As though rehearsing them, it is like the librarian walking through the shelves, replaying the day's events, strengthening the books that matter, letting the less important ones fade. Did you know that neurons in the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, actually fire in the same patterns during sleep that they did when you were awake? If you walked through a park in the afternoon, those patterns replay at night like an echo. This repetition strengthens the memory, embedding it more firmly. It is as though the night librarian takes your fragile notes and copies them neatly into a permanent ledger. This is why sleep-deprived people struggle to remember. Without sleep, the librarian never does the work. The scribbles remain messy, scattered, incomplete. Students who stay up all night cramming often find the facts vanish by morning. But those who sleep after studying remember far more. The code of memory is written in rest, but sleep does more than simply record. It reshapes, reorganizes, even edits. The librarian is not a passive clerk, but a creative storyteller. Have you ever noticed how dreams blend pieces of your life into strange mosaics? A friend from childhood appears in your office. A random detail from a book merges with last night's dinner. This is the librarian experimenting, linking memories together, forming new connections. It is thought that creativity itself blossoms in this space, where unrelated ideas are stitched into new patterns. Consider this. Many breakthroughs in art and science came not in waking effort, but in dreams or moments of half-sleep. The chemist Kekule dreamed of a snake biting its tail and awoke with the image of the benzene ring. Musicians often report hearing melodies in dreams. Writers awake with scenes fully formed. Sleep is not just memory, it is invention. The librarian does not simply file books, it writes new ones, and yet memory in sleep is selective. The brain chooses what to keep and what to discard. Painful events may be softened, their sharp edges dulled. Emotional moments are replayed with less sting. Did you know that REM sleep reduces the emotional charge of memories? It is as though the librarian carefully wraps fragile experiences in softer paper, allowing you to recall them without being overwhelmed. This is one reason why sleep is essential for healing after trauma. Without it, the pain remains raw. But here is where the suspense deepens. If sleep edits memory, how much of what you remember is truly accurate? Studies show that dreams and memory can blur. False memories can be implanted by suggestion, and sometimes our brains invent details that never happened. The librarian is not always loyal to truth, but to coherence. It shapes memories into a story that feels continuous, even if the facts shift. This means that the person you remember yourself to be is, in part, a creation of your sleeping brain. Think of that each night as you lie down. Your identity is rewritten in small ways. The librarian adjusts your personal narrative, polishing certain chapters, fading others. You are never exactly the same person after sleep as you were before. Now let us turn inward. Imagine yourself drifting into deep sleep tonight. In the quiet, your hippocampus begins its work, replaying the scenes of your day. Some are highlighted, strengthened, some are quietly set aside. Your brain is curating the museum of your life, choosing which exhibits to keep in the spotlight and which to store away in shadow. There is comfort in this, isn't there? The knowledge that even as you rest, your brain is working for you, shaping your story, protecting you from overwhelm, building the scaffolding of who you are. And yet, there is also mystery. We do not know why some memories are chosen and others forgotten. We do not know why some dreams linger with crystal clarity while others vanish at dawn. The librarian does not reveal its rules, so let us reflect. Memory is not just a recording, it is alive, fluid, changing. Each night, your brain takes the raw footage of your day and edits it into a story you can live with. The process is invisible, silent, hidden behind closed eyes, but it is nothing less than the code of identity itself. Without sleep, we lose that code. Without memory, we lose ourselves. As this chapter closes, imagine yourself standing once more in that great library. The shelves stretch infinitely. The quiet librarian continues its work. Gently, tirelessly, as you breathe, the books of your life are arranged, edited, preserved. Tomorrow, when you wake, you will carry with you a slightly different self, shaped by the science of sleeping. In our next journey together, we will explore the role of sleep in the body itself, beyond the mind, how sleep repairs your cells, strengthens your immune system, and even influences how long you live. For now, rest in the knowledge that memory is safe, held carefully by your night librarian. Have you ever noticed how, after a long illness or even a simple cold, your body demands more sleep? Or how, after an exhausting workout, you collapse into bed and wake the next day stronger, not weaker? It is almost as if sleep itself carries a medicine, one that no pharmacy can bottle, one that repairs you silently without you ever asking. Picture yourself lying in a quiet room. The lights are low, your body heavy, outside the window. The world continues in its noise and speed, but inside you are still. And as you drift into sleep, something extraordinary begins. A hidden orchestra of biological repair plays its symphony. Invisible yet essential, your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure falls, your body temperature drops. Every cell begins to follow a rhythm written long before you were born. This is deep sleep, the stage where your body is not only resting, but rebuilding. In these hours, growth hormone surges, triggering repair of tissues, strengthening muscles, knitting tiny cellular tears. It is as if tiny craftsmen are at work in every corner of your body, fixing, renewing, restoring. Did you know that even your skin heals more quickly when you are well rested? The tiny cuts, the scrapes, the bruises, they all fade faster under the influence of sleep. Studies show that people deprived of sleep recover more slowly from wounds. It is no wonder that we say sleep on it, for sleep is more than time. It is medicine. But here lies something even more fascinating. Sleep is not only about healing what is broken, it is about protecting what is whole. During deep sleep, your immune system rallies. Cells called natural killer cells patrol your body, searching for invaders, viruses, bacteria, even cancer cells. In those quiet hours, your defenses are sharpened, your resilience renewed. Miss too much sleep, and those defenses weaken. Your immune army becomes sluggish, leaving you vulnerable. And there is more. Sleep regulates the delicate balance of hormones that govern hunger and metabolism. When you sleep poorly, the hormone ghrelin rises, making you hungrier, while leptin, which signals fullness, falls. This is why sleepless nights so often lead to cravings. Why chronic sleep deprivation is linked to weight gain and diabetes. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the silent hand guiding your health. Consider your heart each night as you descend into deep sleep. Your cardiovascular system takes a rest. Blood vessels relax. Stress hormones diminish. If you deprive yourself of sleep, those stress hormones remain elevated, increasing the risk of hypertension, heart disease, even stroke. Night after night, sleep is protecting you, extending your lifespan. But here is where the suspense deepens. What happens when sleep is neglected? When the silent healer is ignored, the effects are not immediate, which is why so many people underestimate them. But over weeks and years, the cost builds. Lack of sleep is associated with higher risk of Alzheimer's disease. The brain, deprived of its nightly cleaning process, accumulates waste proteins called beta, which form plaques. Sleep is not simply rest, it is a nightly cleansing, a washing of the brain. Without it, toxins build, memory falters, identity erodes. Imagine then that each night you sleep, rivers flow through your brain. This is not metaphor, but biology. The glymphatic system, a newly discovered network, opens during deep sleep, flushing away metabolic waste, bathing neurons in clear fluid. It is as if every night your brain is washed clean, refreshed for the next day. The silent healer is also a silent janitor, clearing away the debris of thought. And yet, sleep does not only heal the inside, it heals how you feel when you are sleep deprived. Emotions are amplified, irritability grows, anxiety spikes. It is as though your brain loses its balance, tipping toward negativity. But after sleep, the balance returns. Your emotional regulation, governed by the prefrontal cortex, is restored. Your perspective widens. Problems shrink back to size. The silent healer works not only on tissue, but on mood. Let us pause here and reflect. Each night, while you surrender to unconsciousness, your body is not idle. It is working harder than ever. It is repairing, cleansing, defending, balancing. It is writing tomorrow's vitality into your blood, your bones, your mind. Sleep is nature's prescription, one with no side effects, except perhaps a longer, healthier life. But here is a mystery. Why does the body need unconsciousness to heal? Why not repair while we are awake? Some scientists believe that healing requires resources, and waking life demands too much attention, too much energy. Sleep clears the stage, allowing the body to focus fully on repair. It is as if consciousness is too loud, too distracting. The silent healer requires silence. Now imagine yourself again in that quiet room, drifting deeper beneath the surface of awareness. Your body is alive with activity. Your heart rests but renews its strength. Your muscles knit themselves stronger. Your immune cells sharpen their blades. Your brain bathes in cleansing rivers. All of this unfolds without your effort. Without your will, you do not need to remember. You do not need to try. The silent healer does its work regardless. And as you reflect on this, feel the comfort it brings. You are cared for by your own biology. You are healed each night, not by external hands, but by the ancient rhythms within you. Sleep is both sanctuary and surgeon, protector and poet, a nightly ritual written into the code of life itself. So, as this chapter closes, take a slow breath. Let your shoulders sink into rest. Trust in the silent healer, knowing that tonight, as you drift, your body will carry out its quiet work. And tomorrow you will rise not only restored, but reshaped. In our next exploration, we will journey into the clockwork of sleep itself, the circadian rhythms, the mysterious internal clock that governs when we rise, when we rest, and how our biology dances with the cycle of the sun and stars. For now, close your eyes and trust in the silent healer. Have you ever noticed how your energy shifts across the day? Sometimes you wake with ease, ready to move. Other times you feel sluggish, as if your body is resisting the morning. By nightfall, your eyelids grow heavy, not simply from fatigue, but from a rhythm older than memory. It is as though something inside you is keeping time, whispering when to wake, when to eat, when to sleep. Have you ever wondered what hidden clock directs this ancient dance? Imagine yourself standing in a vast desert at night. The sky overhead is a dome of stars. The Milky Way stretches across it like a luminous river. For thousands of years, humans looked upward to measure time. But within your body, another sky exists, another constellation, one that ticks away in silence. A clock not made of gears, but of cells and molecules. This clock is called the circadian rhythm, from the Latin circadian, meaning about a day. It is the internal cycle of roughly 24 hours that governs nearly every function of your body, from the release of hormones to the rhythm of your heartbeat. From digestion to body temperature, every process dances to this rhythm, like instruments in an orchestra following a conductor unseen. At the center of this hidden timekeeper lies a structure deep in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SEN, tiny yet powerful. It sits just above the place where the optic nerves cross, perfectly positioned to sense light. The SEN is like the conductor of your symphony, synchronizing billions of cellular clocks throughout your body. Without it, your inner orchestra would fall into chaos, each instrument playing at its own pace. Did you know that even your liver has a clock? Your skin, your lungs, your muscles each contains molecular gears that keep time, but they need the SEN to keep them aligned. Without this coordination, your body drifts, like a ship without a compass. And here lies the suspense. What happens when this inner clock is disturbed? Think of jet lag. When you travel across time zones and suddenly your body insists it is midnight, while the world insists it is noon. You feel foggy, hungry at odd times, restless when you should be sleeping. This is the cost of clockwork disrupted. And yet, in modern life, we disrupt our clocks daily. Bright screens at midnight, irregular sleep schedules, artificial lights stretching the day. All of these push against the rhythm that evolution shaped. But let us linger in the wonder before the warning. The circadian rhythm is more than a schedule. It is a guardian of health. When it is aligned, your body flourishes. Hormones are released at just the right moment. Cortisol rising in the morning to wake you. Melatonin rising at night to invite sleep. Even your digestion depends on this clock. Insulin sensitivity, hunger cues, the speed of metabolism all flow with the circadian tide. Consider this. Your body temperature dips lowest in the early morning hours, around 4 a.m. This is why blankets feel so comforting then. Later, as the sun rises, your core warms, your alertness grows. Your reaction times peak in the afternoon, while your strength often reaches its highest in the early evening. Even your memory follows this rhythm, sharper at certain hours, gentler at others. Every part of you is an instrument tuned to the day. Now imagine a grand metaphor. The circadian rhythm is like a cosmic tide inside you. The earth spins, the sun rises and sets, and deep within your cells, molecules respond. You are not separate from the cosmos, but woven into its cycles. When the sun dips below the horizon and darkness falls, your pineal gland releases melatonin, like a night watchman dimming the lanterns, preparing you for rest. The rhythm is not random. It is written in the DNA of life itself, from plants that open their leaves at dawn to animals that hunt at dusk. You are part of a universal choreography. But here is where mystery deepens. Even without sunlight, your body keeps its rhythm. If you lived in a cave with no clock, no window, your circadian rhythm would still tick on, slightly longer than 24 hours. Scientists have studied this by placing volunteers underground for weeks, isolated from day and night, and still, their bodies followed the rhythm, drifting gently, proving that the clock is not imposed from outside, but carried within, and yet light remains the master key. Sunlight striking the retina sends signals to the SCN, resetting the clock daily, anchoring it to the world. This is why morning light feels so invigorating, why stepping outside at dawn stabilizes your mood and energy. Light is not just something you see, it is something you need to tell your body where in time it is. Without it, the inner clock grows confused. Did you know that disruption of circadian rhythm is linked to diseases? Shift workers who battle against their natural clock have higher risks of obesity, diabetes, even cancer. Night after night of battling your biology carries a silent cost. And yet, restoring the rhythm, rising with morning light, dimming the evening, honoring sleep, can heal. Let us turn this knowledge into reflection. Imagine that within you a silent sun rises and sets each day. You carry the cosmos inside each breath, each heartbeat. Each dream follows the law of time written into your cells. To resist it is to struggle against the universe. To honor it is to flow, and in that flow lies health, clarity, and peace. You may not always control the storms of life, the deadlines, the glowing screens, the late-night thoughts. But you can trust that beneath it all, your inner clock still ticks. It whispers of order, of rhythm, of connection. Tonight, as you lie in darkness, let yourself feel aligned with the cycle, with the great turning of the earth. Your rest tonight is not just for you. It is part of the spinning dance of the planet. And so, as this chapter closes, breathe gently, feel the clock inside. Steady and kind, let your body obey its rhythm, not by force, but by surrender. Trust the design that evolution shaped across eons. You are not late, you are not early. You are right on time, and when we meet again, we will journey into another secret of sleep, the way dreams themselves act as a theater of the mind, rehearsing, healing, and whispering truths in the language of symbols. But for now, let your inner clock guide you into rest. As the silent sun within sets and night folds softly around you, have you ever woken from a dream that felt more real than waking life? A dream so vivid that its images lingered long into the day, leaving you unsettled or perhaps inspired. Dreams are both familiar and strange. They visit us every night, yet remain wrapped in mystery. What purpose do they serve? What truths do they hide? And why does the mind, in its deepest rest, stage such vivid plays? Imagine yourself entering a grand theater. The lights are dim, the velvet curtains heavy. You take your seat, and without warning, the play begins. You are both audience and actor, both writer and witness. The stage is the canvas of your mind, and every night the theater opens. Dreams are the performances, shifting, strange, unforgettable. Science tells us that dreams arise most vividly during REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. This stage is unlike any other. Your brain becomes almost as active as when awake, yet your body is paralyzed, as if the stage manager has lowered the curtain on movement, allowing only the theater of the mind to run free. Your eyes flicker behind closed lids, following the scenes you cannot control. Did you know that in a typical lifetime, you will spend around 6 years of your life dreaming? 6 years wandering through landscapes that vanish by morning. 6 years speaking to people who may no longer exist, or who never did. 6 years in a hidden world where time and logic bend. It is as though we each carry a second life, one woven in shadows. But what is the purpose of this hidden theater? For centuries, humans have wondered. Ancient civilizations saw dreams as messages from gods, omens of fate, or journeys of the soul. Freud believed they revealed hidden desires. Jung believed they spoke in symbols, connecting us to a collective unconscious. Modern science offers yet another lens, suggesting that dreams may be the brain's way of processing emotions, rehearsing survival, or solving problems. Consider this. When you dream of being chased, your brain is rehearsing flight. When you dream of falling, your body rehearses the feeling of danger and release. When you dream of conversations with lost loved ones, perhaps your mind is tending to wounds that waking life leaves untouched. Dreams may be therapy without a therapist, rehearsal without a script, but the mystery grows deeper. Some experiments show that the brain consolidates memories during REM sleep, replaying the day's events, filing them into long-term storage. Did you know that students who sleep after studying recall material better than those who stay awake? It is as if dreaming is the librarian of the mind, sorting, shelving, and sometimes rewriting. Your dreams may be your brain's way of editing the story of your life, and yet not all dreams are comforting. Nightmares rise to dark plays on the same stage. Scientists believe they may serve a function as well, rehearsing fears in safe environments, preparing you for danger without harm. Imagine it. The mind runs fire drills at night, whispering if this ever happens. You will know how to act. Even fear becomes practice. Even dread becomes a lesson. Now let us step back into imagery. Imagine yourself inside this dream theater. The stage is infinite, shifting each moment. One night it may be a forest, another night a city, another night a place you've never seen but somehow know. You walk through doors that lead to oceans, skies, or familiar rooms twisted by strangeness. The actors are everyone you have ever met, and countless you have not. And though you do not write the script, it feels intimately yours. But here lies the suspenseful truth. Sometimes dreams bleed into reality. Sleep paralysis, for example, traps dream imagery in waking awareness. You lie in bed, unable to move, shadows at the edge of vision, figures hovering, terrifying, yet born of the overlap between dreaming and waking. These moments remind us how thin the curtain is between the two worlds, and sometimes dreams can even predict, not in mystical ways, but in the subtle noticing of patterns. Your subconscious connects dots you do not see by day. A dream may whisper of illness before symptoms arise, or of emotional truths before you face them. The theater of dreams is not only entertainment, it is a message board. Did you know that lucid dreaming allows some to take control of the stage? In lucid dreams, the dreamer realizes they are dreaming and can bend the world to their will, flying, speaking with mentors, exploring impossible realms. Lucid dreaming transforms the theater into a playground. Some use it for creativity, solving scientific problems, composing music, painting visions. The dream world becomes a workshop of the imagination. But even in ordinary dreams, there is wonder. Think of the brain's artistry, crafting entire landscapes, dialogues, and sensations from nothing but memory and imagination. The colors, the textures, the emotions, all so vivid, all conjured in silence. Dreams reveal the mind's capacity to create worlds, reminding us of the infinite within. Now let us reflect poetically. Dreams are rivers flowing through the night, carrying fragments of memory, emotion, and possibility. They connect you to your past and your future, to your fears and your hopes. They are the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, a nightly mystery play that both hides and reveals. In them, you are a traveler without a map, yet guided by your own hidden compass. Perhaps the greatest comfort lies here. Even in sleep, when you surrender control, your mind is still working for you, tending, rehearsing, mending, creating. Dreams may confuse, they may frighten, but they may also heal, and whether you remember them or not, they do their work. So tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine yourself entering the theater once again. The curtains rise, the stage glows, the play begins. And though you do not know the script, you can trust it. Your mind is telling its story, rehearsing its lessons, painting its mysteries. You do not need to direct, you need only to watch or to drift. And as this chapter closes, feel the comfort of knowing that dreams are not meaningless chaos. They are threads in the fabric of your life, woven by a mind that cares for you, even in sleep. Tomorrow, you may wake and forget the scenes, but the work will remain, your brain lighter, your heart steadier, your spirit subtly healed. And when we meet again, we will venture further still into the hidden cycles of night terrors and sleepwalking, into the mysteries of what happens when consciousness wanders in ways even stranger than dreams. But for now, let the curtains fall, the stage dim, and your own theater of dreams unfold. Have you ever woken in the middle of the night, your heart pounding, certain something was wrong? Perhaps a sound in the dark, or no sound at all. Just a surge of fear that left you breathless. For some, these midnight jolts go even further, spiraling into terrors, visions, and movements that feel both real and unreal. The night is not always gentle. Sometimes it shows us its shadows. Picture yourself standing in a hallway of an old house at night. The air is heavy, the silence almost too deep. A faint creak echoes from a distant room. You know you are dreaming, but your body feels awake. Your feet begin to move, carrying you forward without your consent. The house shifts, doors open to places that should not exist. This is the feeling of the night's stranger episodes, where the border between waking and dreaming dissolves. One of the most startling of these is the phenomenon of night terrors. Unlike nightmares, which occur during REM sleep, night terrors erupt from the depths of non-REM sleep, often in the first few hours of the night. A person may bolt upright in bed, eyes wide open, screaming, drenched in sweat. Their heart races, their breathing rapid. To an observer, it is terrifying. But here lies the mystery. The sleeper does not fully wake, and in the morning remembers little or nothing. Did you know that children experience night terrors far more often than adults? Scientists believe it is linked to the immaturity of their nervous system, a kind of turbulence in the brain's transition between stages of sleep. For parents, it can be chilling to witness, but for the child, the terror vanishes like mist with the dawn. It is as though the mind glimpses a storm, but never holds it. Now consider sleepwalking, another of the night's enigmas. In this state, the sleeper rises from bed, moving through the world with open eyes, yet a closed mind. They may wander through hallways, open doors, even attempt complex tasks, all without true awareness. To watch a sleepwalker is to see a body without its pilot, a ship drifting while its captain dreams below deck. Science tells us that sleepwalking, like night terrors, emerges from deep non-REM sleep. The brain is caught between states, motor functions awakened, but higher reasoning still asleep. It is a dangerous twilight, for though the mind is dimmed, the body can move with startling strength. There are stories of sleepwalkers climbing rooftops, driving cars, even cooking meals. The strangest part is their lack of memory. In the morning, the night's journey is gone, erased, and yet within this danger lies fascination. Sleepwalking reveals that consciousness is not a simple switch, but a spectrum. We are not simply awake or asleep. We can be caught in between, and in those in-between spaces, the strangest behaviors emerge. But here is where the suspense deepens. Some cultures once believed sleepwalking to be a form of possession. Others thought it a sign of spiritual journeying. The sight of a loved one wandering with blank eyes through the night was too uncanny, too ghostly, even today. The image unsettles us, for in sleepwalking, we see how thin the veil of self truly is. Have you ever wondered why these disorders exist? Why evolution would allow such peril in the night? Some scientists suggest they are remnants of ancient survival systems. The body, even in rest, must sometimes be ready to act, to flee, to fight, to move, and in rare moments, that readiness overflows, the ancient circuits misfire, and the sleeper walks, or cries out, or battles invisible foes. But let us step closer to something even stranger: sleep paralysis. Here, the body remains frozen in REM sleep while the mind wakes. The result is a chilling state: awareness without movement, vision without control. Many who experience it report seeing shadowy figures at the edge of the room, feeling pressure on the chest, hearing whispers or footsteps. Scientists explain it as the dream world spilling into waking awareness. Hallucinations born of a brain not yet separated from REM. Yet for the one trapped in it, it feels like an encounter with the unknown. Did you know that sleep paralysis may be at the root of folklore about demons, witches, or alien abductions? In every culture, stories exist of beings that press down on sleepers, holding them still. From the old hag in Newfoundland to the Kanashibari of Japan, the phenomenon echoes across history. Science now explains the mechanics, but the experience remains terrifying. Now pause and breathe. The night's shadows are unsettling, but remember, they are rare and often harmless. They remind us not of danger, but of mystery, of how much of the mind remains unexplored. For every orderly rhythm of sleep, there are cracks where the unknown seeps through. They are glimpses, not of madness, but of the complexity of being alive. Let us reflect poetically. Night terrors, sleepwalking, paralysis, these are like storms that pass across the ocean of sleep. They churn, they unsettle, but they are fleeting. The deeper truth is this: even in its strangeness, the mind is revealing its depth. It is not fragile, but vast, vast enough to contain light and shadow, silence and storm. To be human is to carry mystery, even in rest. So tonight, as you close your eyes, do not fear the shadows. Let them remind you of the power of the mind, the ancient circuitry still alive within you. And know this: even when dreams turn strange, even when the body stirs without your will, you are safe, held in the design of sleep itself. The storms will pass, and the calm will return. And when we meet again, we will journey deeper still into how sleep shapes memory, how the brain takes the fragments of each day and weaves them into the story of who you are. But for now, let the shadows drift back into darkness. Let the night cradle you, safe and still. Have you ever wondered why some days fade from your memory, while others stay sharp as crystal? Why one conversation, one face, one lesson imprints itself so deeply that it resurfaces years later, while countless others slip into oblivion? Memory is a strange and fragile treasure, and sleep is its sculptor. Imagine your mind as a vast library. Every moment you live is a book placed on a desk, waiting to be filed by day. The desk grows cluttered, filled with thoughts, images, tasks, emotions. But it is during sleep that the librarians arrive, moving silently through the night, carrying each book to its proper shelf, Some are stored in long corridors of deep memory. Others are discarded, recycled, their pages dissolved into blankness. This is the secret work of your dreaming brain. Scientists once believed sleep was simply rest, an intermission. But modern research reveals that during sleep, the brain is astonishingly active, replaying and reorganizing the day's experiences. Did you know that during slow-wave sleep, the deepest stage of non-REM sleep, your hippocampus, the memory hub, replays recent events like echoes, sending them to the neocortex for long-term storage? It is as if the brain whispers to itself, "This is worth keeping. This we can let go." Consider a student studying late into the night. If they sleep, the material lodges deeper into memory. But if they stay awake, much is lost in experiments. Students who slept after learning performed significantly better than those deprived of sleep. Sleep, then, is not a luxury but a partner in learning. Without it, your mind is like a chalkboard left in the rain, and yet memory is not only about facts, it is also about emotions. During REM sleep, when dreams are most vivid, the brain processes feelings, replaying emotional events but softening their sting. It is like a therapist at work, letting you revisit wounds without the same sharpness. Did you know that after trauma, those who sleep poorly often struggle to heal emotionally? Their memories remain raw, unprocessed. Sleep is the balm that cools the burn of the day. But here lies something even more fascinating. Not all memories are treated equally. The brain prioritizes what is meaningful, surprising, or emotionally charged. A birthday kiss is remembered, while countless breakfasts are forgotten. Sleep is selective, sculpting your identity from fragments, chiseling away the trivial, preserving the essence. Without this sculptor, we would drown in endless details, unable to find the narrative of our own lives. Imagine again the library of your mind in the quiet hours. Dreamlike custodians decide which shelves to fill. Sometimes they even reorder the books, linking memories that were once separate. This may explain why creativity blossoms after sleep. The brain does not merely store, it recombines. It weaves old knowledge into new patterns. A scientist may dream of a solution. A musician may wake with a melody. A writer with a line. Creativity often walks out of the dream theater into daylight. Did you know that Paul McCartney once said the melody of yesterday came to him in a dream? Or that the chemist Friedrich Kuckull dreamed of a snake biting its own tail, which inspired his discovery of the benzene ring structure. History is filled with breakthroughs born in sleep. The memory sculptor is also an artist, working silently at night. But memory is not only strengthened, sometimes it is erased. Sleep also clears space, pruning connections, forgetting deliberately. Have you ever wondered why infants who sleep so much also forget so much? Their brains are pruning endlessly, shaping themselves for efficiency. The sculptor's chisel is as much about removal as preservation. Forgetting is not failure, it is design, and yet, when sleep is deprived, the sculptor falters. Studies show that sleep-deprived people recall less, struggle to concentrate, and are more vulnerable to false memories. The brain, exhausted, cannot distinguish the real from the imagined. Without sleep, the library grows chaotic. Books misplaced, stories confused. This is why long nights awake feel disorienting. memory itself begins to unravel. Here lies the suspenseful truth. Chronic sleep loss does more than blur recall. It may hasten cognitive decline in older adults. Poor sleep is linked to higher risks of dementia. Without nightly sculpting, plaques build, memories falter, identity fades. It is as though the sculptor lays down its tools and the library gathers dust. This is why protecting sleep is protecting selfhood. Let us pause in reflection. Sleep is not passive. It is the unseen craftsman of who you are. Every night, your memories are sifted, sorted, woven into the story of you. Each dream, each deep breath in darkness, is part of the process of becoming. You are not the same person after sleep. You are slightly remade, refined, reshaped. Picture yourself lying in bed tonight. Above you stretches the sky, infinite and star-filled. Within you, another sky is alive, neurons firing, pathways strengthening, patterns forming. The sculptor works patiently, chisel in hand, shaping the marble of your mind. You need not direct it. You need only surrender, for in that surrender, your identity is protected, your learning deepened, your spirit healed. So when you drift tonight, know that your mind is working for you. The laughter you wish to remember, the lessons you hope to keep, the pain you long to soften, all are tended. You are being shaped gently, lovingly, by forces older than thought. And as this chapter closes, let yourself feel awe at this hidden labor. You are both the marble and the sculptor, both the story and the library. In sleep, you write the next chapter of your life, silently, invisibly, beautifully. And when we meet again, we will explore another secret, the way dreams and memories intertwine to form creativity. How the night does not only heal and remember, but invent. But for now, let the sculptor work while you rest, safe in the knowledge that each night your very self is being renewed. Have you ever wondered where your best ideas truly come from? That sudden spark of brilliance in the shower, that melody that floats into your mind, that solution that arrives not during hours of struggle, but after a night of sleep. It feels almost magical. Yet science shows us it is not magic, but the hidden craftsmanship of the sleeping brain. Imagine a blacksmith's forge in the heart of night. Sparks flying, metal bending, forms taking shape. That forge is your sleeping mind every night. Your brain is at work, forging new connections, melting down old thoughts, reshaping the fragments of memory into inventions never before seen. Picture yourself sitting at a desk, weary after hours of working on a problem. You try to solve it, but your thoughts grow tangled. Then you give up, surrender, fall asleep, and in the morning, the answer seems to glide into your mind with ease. Scientists call this incubation, but to the dreamer, it feels like alchemy. The brain, in the silence of sleep, has been forging while you rested. Did you know that during REM sleep, the brain shows activity patterns startlingly similar to waking imagination? The prefrontal cortex, the strict rule keeper of logic, grows quiet, while associative areas ignite with energy, thoughts that never would have touched in daylight. This is why dreams feel bizarre, yet from their strangeness often arises genius. Consider the story of Elias Howe, the inventor of the sewing machine. He struggled for years to design a functional needle. One night, he dreamed of warriors carrying spears with holes in their tips. He woke And the answer was before him. The sewing machine needle must have an eye at its point. That dream changed industry forever. Or think of Mary Shelley, who described the vision that came to her in a dream, the haunting image of a man reanimated by science. That vision became Frankenstein, one of literature's most enduring works. The Forge of Night gave birth to art. Even scientific revolutions are born this way. Kekule dreamed of a snake biting its tail, and from that vision, he realized the circular structure of benzene. Einstein often spoke of daydream-like visions, riding beams of light, which later informed his theories of relativity. Creativity is not merely thought, it is dream reshaped into daylight. But how does the forge of sleep truly work? In deep, non-REM sleep, the brain replays memories, strengthening and pruning them. This prepares the raw material. Then, in REM sleep, the rules loosen. The brain becomes a theater of associations, weaving together fragments that never before coexisted. This dual process, refinement and recombination, is the alchemy of invention. Think of an artist mixing colors. Blue and yellow form green. But what happens when memories of a childhood sound meet knowledge of physics? Or when emotions of love intertwine with mathematics? The result is something unexpected, original, often astonishing. Sleep allows these unlikely marriages. In wakefulness, the strict walls of logic stand tall. In dreams, they collapse, and across the rubble, new bridges are built. Have you noticed that solutions often come not in the struggle, but in surrender? You try all day, but only after rest does the pattern reveal itself. This is because your brain continues working in silence, pulling threads behind the curtain. Scientists have recorded bursts of neural replay during sleep that mirror creative problem-solving, as if the brain rehearses not only the past, but also possible futures. And here is a suspenseful truth. Sleep deprivation does not only harm memory, it strangles creativity. Artists, inventors, and thinkers who deny themselves rest often find their wells dry. The forge grows cold without sleep. Connections weaken, ideas dull. The night no longer delivers its gifts. Without rest, the mind is trapped in repetition, unable to leap. But there is a deeper wonder still. Dreams not only inspire creativity, they embody it. The very act of dreaming is your brain telling stories, painting images, composing symphonies in silence. You are an artist each night, even if you forget your work upon waking. Some neuroscientists call dreams virtual reality simulations, spaces where the brain experiments and plays without consequence. Is that not creativity itself? Reflect for a moment. Tonight, when you lie down, you are not merely resting. You are entering a workshop of genius. The ideas you could not reach today may be waiting for you in the dark. The melody unplayed, the words unwritten, the design unformed, all may take shape while your eyes flutter in dream. Sleep is not the end of effort, it is its secret continuation. And when you wake tomorrow, perhaps you will carry with you a spark from the forge, a thread from the loom of dreams. For some, it may be a small insight, a subtle shift in perspective. For others, it may be a fire that changes the world. The ancients sensed this mystery. In Greece, they built temples of dreams, where seekers would sleep in hopes of visions. In many cultures, dreams were thought to be gifts from gods, whispers from ancestors, Today, science explains it differently, yet the awe remains, whether divine or neural. The night remains a wellspring of creativity. Let us pause and reflect. You are both thinker and dreamer, awake and asleep. In one world you build with effort, in the other with surrender. To create fully, you must honor both. To deny sleep is to silence half of your genius. To embrace it is to unlock hidden doors. So tonight, as you drift, imagine yourself walking into that forge. Sparks dancing, metal glowing, your thoughts melting and reshaping, your dreams weaving and recombining. In the morning, you may not remember the work, but its fruits may rest quietly in your mind. And as this chapter closes, know that you carry within you a timeless secret, that creativity is not only in daylight struggle, but in nightly surrender. You need not force brilliance. You need only rest, for in rest, brilliance is forged. And when we meet again, we will venture into another mystery. Not just how sleep creates, but how it heals, how it mends body and spirit alike. Until then, let the forge burn brightly within, while you drift gently into the dark, knowing that your next dream may be your next creation. Have you ever wondered why almost every culture, across time and place, spoke of sleep as medicine? Why grandmothers whispered, "Just sleep, you'll feel better." Why ancient healers prescribed rest as much as herbs and rituals. We sense it instinctively, that sleep repairs us. Yet only recently has science revealed just how profound this healing really is. Imagine yourself at the end of a long day. Your muscles ache, your mind hums with thoughts, your spirit feels heavy. You close your eyes, surrender to the night, and in the morning, so much has changed. The soreness has eased, the fog has lifted. Emotions that felt unbearable are softened. It is as though a silent physician tended to you while you slept. But who is this physician? What medicines are given without pills or syringes? The answer lies within the body itself. For sleep triggers cascades of processes, from cellular repair to immune defense, from hormone balancing to emotional recalibration. Without it, we fray. With it, we are restored. Let us begin with the body. During the deep stages of slow-wave sleep, growth hormone surges. Did you know this hormone is not only for children, but for adults too? It repairs muscles, strengthens bones, heals tissues. If you exercise, your progress does not happen in the gym, but in the hours of sleep afterward. The night is the true trainer. Consider your immune system. When you fall ill, your body often craves more sleep. This is not coincidence. During sleep, immune cells patrol with greater vigilance. Cytokines, those tiny messengers of defense, are released in abundance. Sleep-deprived individuals are more likely to catch colds, while those well-rested mount stronger defenses. It is as if each night the gates are fortified, the soldiers sharpen their blades. The fortress of your body becomes harder to breach. And what of the brain itself? One of the greatest discoveries of the last decade is the glymphatic system, a hidden cleaning network that clears waste from neural tissue. Imagine rivers running through the valleys of your brain, carrying away debris that builds during the day. Among this debris is beta amyloid, a protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. When sleep is cut short, the rivers dry, the waste accumulates. Over time, the landscape grows polluted. But in deep slumber, the river's rush, washing clean the neural earth. Without this nightly cleansing, the seeds of disease may quietly take root. But healing is not only physical, sleep is also balm for the soul. Have you noticed how problems that feel sharp and unbearable soften after rest? This is because dreams act like therapy sessions, replaying emotional memories but stripping them of their harsh edge. A heartbreak revisited in REM sleep still hurts, but less sharply. A fear still flickers, but more distantly. Scientists describe this as overnight emotional regulation, but perhaps it is better to call it the whisper of night, calming the storm. Consider a soldier returning from battle, haunted by trauma. Those who can sleep deeply often recover more swiftly. Their dreams process the pain, allowing the memory to be stored without its full sting. But those robbed of sleep, whether by nightmares or insomnia, often remain trapped, unable to heal. Here lies one of the most haunting truths. Sleep is not a passive escape from pain. It is the very process of healing it. And let us not forget the heart. Did you know that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night are at far greater risk of heart disease, hypertension, even sudden cardiac events? The night lowers blood pressure, slows the heart rate, reduces stress hormones. It is like a nightly tune-up. If skipped, the machine runs hot. The gears grind, the wear accelerates. Over time, without rest, the very organ of life falters. The suspense deepens when we consider how quickly the absence of sleep weakens us. Within one night of deprivation, immune defenses drop. Blood sugar regulation stumbles. Stress hormones rise. Emotional centers flare uncontrollably. It is as if the healer has abandoned us, and the body begins to fray in mere hours. What then of years of neglect? The evidence is chilling. Sleep debt is linked to diabetes, obesity, depression, stroke, dementia, and more. To ignore sleep is to invite disease. And yet, in all of this, there is a wonder. Sleep is free, ancient, built into the fabric of existence. You do not pay for it. You do not swallow it. You need only surrender. The most advanced medicine, more powerful than countless treatments, lies already within you. You carry a healer who arrives each night unbidden. Let us pause and reflect. What if each night we thought of sleep not as wasted hours, but as sacred ceremony? What if we entered bed not guiltily, but gratefully, saying, "Now the healer comes"? How would it change the way we treat our bodies, our minds, our very lives? Picture yourself tonight as you drift. Imagine invisible hands repairing you, weaving muscle, cleansing blood, soothing wounds inside your skull, rivers washing the day away inside your chest, rhythms slowing, balancing inside your heart, storms calming, each cell tended, each system tuned. And as your dreams arrive, imagine them not as illusions, but as gentle therapy. Each image, each story, each surreal vision, carrying away the sharpness of grief, softening the weight of anger, stitching broken emotions into something whole again. You awaken lighter, not because the world has changed, but because you have. This is why so many ancient cultures revered night. They called it sacred, not only for the stars, but for the healing unseen. In Egyptian myths, the god of sleep was linked to the god of health. In Greek temples, patients slept in hope of dream cures. In modern science, we see the truth of these intuitions. Sleep is medicine, medicine without a bottle. So, tonight, as you listen, do not think of sleep as escape. Think of it as treatment. Every hour is a dose. Every dream is therapy. Every deep breath is a step toward renewal. You need not force it. You need only allow it. And when you wake tomorrow, know that the healer worked all night. The soreness will be lighter, the memory clearer, the spirit. You will carry within you the invisible gift of rest, stronger than any tonic. And as this chapter closes, let yourself sink into gratitude for this hidden medicine. The healer waits again tonight. Patient, ancient, tireless. Each night is a chance to mend, to renew, to live again more fully. When we meet again, we will explore another secret, how sleep acts not only as healer, but as guardian, protecting us from dangers both within and beyond. But for now, trust the healer, trust the night, and rest. Have you ever wondered why nature insists on our vulnerability? Why we must lie still, eyes closed, defenseless for hours each night? Surely, from an evolutionary perspective, this seems dangerous. In a world once filled with predators, fire, and hunger, why would life design such fragility? And yet, despite the risks, sleep has never been abandoned. Not by humans, not by animals, not by birds in the sky, nor dolphins in the sea. Why? Because sleep guards more than it exposes. Imagine a fortress on a hill, its walls strong, its watchtowers lit. Soldiers patrol the ramparts, while the villagers inside sleep. To the villagers, the night feels silent, but unseen. Protections are at work. Such is your body in slumber. Your conscious mind rests, but other forces keep watch. Begin with the immune system. As we discovered, sleep strengthens it. But think of this not only as healing, but as defense. During sleep, antibodies rise, immune memory sharpens. Did you know that vaccines work far better when the recipient sleeps well afterward? It is as if the guardian takes note, remembering the enemy's face more clearly, preparing the body for future battle. Without sleep, the sentinel forgets. The walls grow porous, illness slips through. But the guardian does not protect only against microbes. Sleep also safeguards the heart. Nighttime is when blood pressure falls. Heart rate steadies. Inflammation quiets. This nightly dip is like the cooling of engines. Without it, engines overheat, fires spread, arteries inflame. Sleep protects not only life today, but life decades into the future. And here lies a suspenseful truth. People deprived of sleep for long stretches face sharply higher risks of accidents, injuries, even death. Sleep guards your reflexes, your attention, your ability to survive. Have you noticed how the world feels slower, fuzzier, after sleepless nights? Reaction times stretch, mistakes multiply for drivers. This can be as dangerous as intoxication. Millions of accidents each year trace back not to recklessness, but to simple exhaustion. Sleep was absent, and the guardian could not protect. Now, let us look deeper into the shadows of the mind itself. Have you ever felt your emotions unravel after poor sleep? Perhaps irritation where once you had patience, despair where once you had resilience. This, too, is the guardian's role in healthy slumber. Emotional centers of the brain are soothed, the amygdala tamed. Without it, the guardian abandons post, and the smallest spark can ignite storms of anger or fear. Scientists once placed volunteers in scanners after sleepless nights. They found that the emotional centers of the brain lit up 60% more strongly in response to stress, while the rational prefrontal cortex grew dim. In other words, without sleep, the guardian steps away, and the kingdom of your mind grows chaotic. But sleep also protects in more mysterious ways. During dreaming, especially in REM, the brain seems to rehearse danger. Have you ever noticed how many dreams carry themes of pursuit, conflict, challenge? It may feel strange, but researchers believe these dreams are simulations, practice runs for survival, a predator, a chase, a conflict, all rehearsed safely in the theater of the night. The guardian does not only fight, it trains, preparing you for dangers not yet faced. Consider animals. Deer sleep lightly, ready to wake at the crack of a twig. Birds can sleep with half a brain awake, one eye open. Dolphins rest one hemisphere at a time. Surfacing for air, evolution has found ways to balance vulnerability and vigilance. But never did evolution abolish sleep, for even in danger, protection without restoration is no protection at all. And here is something truly haunting. Chronic lack of sleep weakens defenses not only against immediate threats, but against the slow shadows of disease. Cancer, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular decline, all creep faster when the guardian is absent. Night after night of short sleep, and the fortress walls begin to crumble, letting silent enemies in. Let us pause. What does it mean to be protected? Perhaps not only to be shielded from harm, but also to be preserved in identity, memory, and spirit each night. Sleep ensures that tomorrow you awaken still yourself, not frayed into someone unrecognizable. The guardian of night protects not only your body, but the continuity of who you are. Picture yourself tonight, lying in bed. The room grows quiet. The lights dim. You may think you are unguarded, but inside, unseen, the sentinel awakens. Immune soldiers sharpen. Rivers in the brain clear debris. The heart calms. Dreams rehearse. Your fortress stands strong. You are not defenseless. You are watched over, and yet the suspense remains. For the guardian demands tribute. It asks not gold nor offering, but only time. You cannot cheat it. You cannot replace it. To cut short your sleep is to open the gates, to dim the lanterns, to leave the ramparts empty. The guardian waits, but you must allow it to serve. In ancient myths, gods of sleep were also gods of protection. Hypnos, in Greek lore, paired with Thanatos, the god of death, embodied both vulnerability and safety. To sleep was to enter darkness, but also to be carried safely through it. In modern science, the metaphor remains. Each night you surrender, trusting that something unseen will protect you. And when you awaken, the proof is in your survival. You survived illness, stress, danger, and decay, because the guardian did its work, because sleep stood between you and the chaos of the world. So tonight, let yourself surrender. Let yourself be guarded. You need not patrol the walls. You need not fight. You need only rest. For the guardian will keep vigil, ensuring that when dawn comes, you rise whole. And as this chapter closes, let yourself feel comfort in the truth that you are never unprotected in sleep. In fact, you are more protected than at any waking moment. For within you lives an ancient guardian, forged by evolution, sharpened by necessity, faithful as breath. Each night it waits to shield you. When we meet again, we will move into another mystery, one perhaps even stranger. How sleep connects us, not just to our bodies and our safety, but to the rhythms of nature itself, to the moon, the tides, the turning of earth. For now, trust your guardian, rest in its watch, and let the night do its work. Close your eyes. Imagine the earth turning silently in the darkness of space. Oceans rising and falling, forests whispering as leaves sway with the hidden beat. Stars wheel across the sky, the moon glows like a guardian lantern, and deep within you, without your awareness, another cycle ticks, an ancient rhythm, precise as the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. This rhythm is older than language, older than humanity. It existed before fire was discovered, before stone tools were shaped. It pulses not just through us, but through every living thing on earth, from the humblest bacteria to the tallest trees. It is the circadian rhythm, the body's clock, a hidden timekeeper sculpted by the turning of earth beneath the sun. But here lies the suspense. This clock is invisible. You cannot see its gears. You cannot touch its hands. And yet, every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every dream you wander through at night is shaped by this mysterious mechanism. Have you noticed how certain times of day carry certain moods? Dawn with its calm clarity, afternoon with its restless energy, night with its deepening silence. This is no accident. It is the cosmic clock inside you, aligning your body with the cycle of light and darkness. At the very center of the brain lies the suprachiasmatic nucleus, a cluster of neurons no larger than a grain of rice. Yet, this tiny organ governs the rhythm of your entire being. It receives signals from the eyes, reading light like a cosmic messenger. When daylight fades, the brain releases melatonin, the sleep hormone, signaling that it is time to retreat into rest. But here is where the mystery deepens. The circadian rhythm does not only control when we sleep, it regulates body temperature, hormone release, digestion, immune strength, and even mood. It is the cosmic conductor, orchestrating billions of cells into harmony. And when this conductor falters, chaos follows. Think of travelers crossing time zones. Jet lag is not simply fatigue. It is the cosmic clock thrown into disorder. Your body still believes it is night, while the world demands it be day. For days, sometimes weeks, the rhythm stumbles, until light resets the gears. But what happens when modern life severs us from this rhythm entirely? When artificial light floods the night, when screens glow long past dusk, when work shifts twist days into nights, the cosmic clock is forced into battle with our choices. And the cost is profound: increased risk of depression, obesity, diabetes, even cancer, all traced back to the disruption of this ancient rhythm. Now, pause and consider this haunting truth. In the 21st century, humanity is the only species that systematically defies its circadian design. Every other creature aligns with the sun and moon. Birds rise with dawn, wolves hunt by night, flowers open and close with daylight. But humans push against the cosmic law, racing against the earth's turning, and for this rebellion, we pay with our health. Yet even in defiance, the rhythm remains unbroken, for deep within, your cells still whisper the cosmic time, Researchers discovered that even isolated in caves without light, humans still follow a roughly 24-hour cycle, as if the body carries the imprint of Earth's rotation engraved into its very DNA. Let us dive deeper. Have you ever felt a strange surge of energy around midnight, or a natural heaviness just before dawn? These are not coincidences. At night, body temperature dips, muscles repair, immune defenses strengthen. The brain washes away toxins through the lymphatic system. It is as if the body follows a secret schedule, each hour designed for a task, each phase a movement in the symphony of survival. But then comes the most profound mystery. Why tie our lives so closely to the sun? Why should a star 150 million kilometers away dictate our biology? Because life itself was born from light. The first organisms harvested sunlight, and in their struggle to adapt, they learned to anticipate its coming and going. That memory has never left us, carried forward in every gene, every cell, every night we sleep and every dawn we wake. And what of the moon? For centuries, poets, priests, and shamans believed the moon influenced dreams. Some modern studies suggest that during full moons, people take longer to fall asleep and experience more restless nights. Is it coincidence, or does the moon still whisper to us, as it moves the tides, as it pulls at oceans? Perhaps it pulls at the waters of our bodies as well. Suspense deepens here. Imagine if your very dreams were tied not only to your mind, but to the turning of celestial bodies above. To sleep beneath a full moon may feel enchanted for a reason. To rest in utter darkness may heal more deeply. The cosmos does not just watch us, it guides us, silently shaping our most vulnerable hours. But here lies the danger. If we lose this rhythm entirely, what becomes of us? Shift workers who labor against night often show biological ages far older than their years. Their clocks, forced to tick out of sync, unravel faster. The fortress of health weakens. The mind falters. The guardian of night struggles to protect. And slowly the cost is revealed. And yet there is hope. For just as the rhythm can be broken, it can be restored. Step outside at dawn. Let sunlight fall on your eyes. The clock begins to reset. Dim the lights at night. Allow melatonin to flow. Avoid screens that mimic day, and the cosmic clock turns true again. The secret is simple. Align with the earth. Live in rhythm with light and shadow. And the body remembers. Let us turn once more to imagery. Picture the earth turning. Day melts into night. Night gives birth to day. Over and over, without pause, for billions of years. This cycle is not just outside of you. It is within you, a reflection of the cosmic dance. Each time you surrender to sleep, you are not escaping life, you are joining it, harmonizing with the oldest rhythm in existence. And so, the next time you drift into slumber, know this: you are not merely closing your eyes. You are syncing with the turning earth, breathing with the oceans, moving with the stars. Your dreams are not just private stories. They are part of the cosmic story. And in this connection lies both mystery and safety. For to live in harmony with the rhythm of nature is to live as nature intended. The suspense remains. What if these rhythms also guide not only when we sleep, but how long we live? What if longevity itself depends less on medicine and more on alignment. Ancient cultures that rose with dawn and slept with night often showed remarkable vitality. Modern life, racing against the cosmic current, frays us faster. Perhaps the secret to survival is not in resisting the clock, but in listening to it tonight when you close your eyes. Think of yourself not as isolated, but as a participant in something vast. Your sleep is a ripple in the ocean of time. Your heartbeat is a note in the cosmic symphony. The sun, the moon, the stars above, they are all keeping time with you. And as you surrender, know that you are exactly where you were meant to be, part of a rhythm older than history, older than memory, older even than dreams themselves. Close your eyes, drift deeper, and imagine this: you are no longer in your room. The air shifts, the walls dissolve, and suddenly you are standing in a forest of symbols. Shadows move, doors open where none existed. Faces appear, vanish, and reappear as something else. This is the realm of dreams, a place both familiar and unknowable. What are dreams? Are they random sparks, the brain firing without meaning, or are they messages, whispers from a hidden part of the self, perhaps even portals to dimensions beyond the waking mind? For thousands of years, humanity has wrestled with this question. Ancient Egyptians believed dreams were messages from the gods, carved into the night like letters of fire. In Greece, temples of Asclepius welcomed pilgrims who sought healing through sacred dreams. Shamans across cultures entered trance states, walking the dream world as hunters of truth. And still, even today, science cannot fully explain them. Dreams remain the one realm where logic falters, where the mind untethers itself from reason and slips into the impossible, a place where the laws of physics bend, where the dead speak, where we can fly, fall, dissolve, or awaken in someone else's skin. But let us look closer. Why does the brain dream? Why spend hours weaving stories that vanish at dawn? Perhaps the answer is both practical and profound. Neuroscientists tell us that dreams are tied to memory. The brain replays fragments of experience, testing connections, discarding useless data, strengthening vital links. Yet it is more than that. Dreams also act as emotional therapy. The amygdala, the seat of fear, rages while we dream. But the stress chemicals of waking life are silenced. We feel terror, but safely. Our minds confront nightmares without the full burn of reality. And so, night by night, dreams heal us. But then comes the haunting question. If dreams only tidy memory and soothe emotion, why do they so often feel prophetic? How is it that countless people across history have claimed to glimpse the future in their sleep? Was it coincidence, or does dreaming brush against something beyond time? Carl Jung believed that dreams connect us to the collective unconscious, a deep ocean of symbols shared by humanity. When you dream of falling, you dream not only your fear, but the fear of countless ancestors who knew the peril of losing balance. When you dream of a shadowy figure, you touch the archetype of the stranger, the unknown, the eternal other. Dreams, Jung argued, are not private. They are shared maps, coded in myth, art, and symbol. But others go further still. Some argue that dreams are portals, dimensions where the boundaries of self loosen. In lucid dreams, where one awakens inside the dream itself, people have flown across galaxies, faced their deepest fears, and spoken with figures that feel utterly independent. Could it be that in dreams the mind is not confined, but free, not hallucinating, but traveling? Consider this suspenseful truth. During REM sleep, when dreams are most vivid, the brain is as active as when awake, yet the body is paralyzed. You are locked in place while your mind journeys elsewhere. Evolution kept this paralysis to protect you, to prevent you from acting out your dream battles in the real world. But what does it mean that nature designed us to wander nightly through other realms? And then there are the shared dreams, couples, families, even strangers reporting the same dream images at the same time. How is this possible? Are our dreams connected through some hidden web? Or is it the cosmic rhythm we explored earlier, guiding not just sleep, but the dreams themselves? Let us not forget nightmares, those dark visions that jolt us awake in sweat and fear. They too serve purpose. Evolutionary scientists suggest that nightmares are rehearsals for survival. A predator chases you, and though you wake trembling, the body has practiced, the mind has learned. The guardian of the night uses fear to prepare. But nightmares can also reveal truths, suppressed memories, unresolved grief, hidden guilt. Dreams speak in riddles, and sometimes the darkest dreams are the clearest mirrors. Imagine this: you dream of an endless staircase, climbing higher and higher, never reaching the top. Is it random? Or does it whisper of ambition, of struggle, of the unreachable? Dreams are not literal, but symbolic, and to read them is to learn the language of the subconscious. Now, suspend disbelief for a moment. Imagine that dreams are not just inward journeys, but outward as well. Shamans for centuries have claimed to use dreams to heal, to travel, to seek wisdom. Tibetan Buddhists practice dream yoga, learning to awaken within dreams to break the illusion of reality itself. And modern scientists studying lucid dreaming find hints that in these states, creativity and problem-solving soar. New inventions, music, and scientific discoveries have emerged from the dream world. Is it then so impossible that dreams are doorways, that each night, when the conscious mind falls silent, another mind awakens, walking a bridge between the known and the unknown? And here lies the suspense. What if dreams are not only messages, but warnings? What if inside them are the seeds of choices not yet made, paths not yet taken, futures waiting to be shaped? To dream is to touch possibility. To awaken is to decide, but beware, for dreams fade quickly, slipping through fingers like mist unless you catch them. Write them, honor them, they vanish, and the messages are lost. The dream speaks only once, and silence follows. So tonight, when you drift into sleep, remember this: you are not only resting, you are entering a portal, a hidden chamber of the universe inside your mind. Some dreams will heal, others will frighten, some will confuse, a few may guide. All are part of the same mystery. And when dawn comes, when your eyes open, the question remains: was it only imagination, or was it a glimpse beyond the veil? For, in the end, dreams remind us of one haunting truth: reality itself may not be as solid as we believe. The walls may dissolve, the forest may open, and perhaps all of life is but another dream watched over by a sleeper yet to awaken.